Okay, I'm trying so hard not to stop crying, but it's so hard after reading this chapter of Gintama, man. It's just like, what the hell? Gorilla Sensei, week after week, you continuously hurt. It's like you purposely want us to feel hurt. Like, if anybody saw this chapter, like, now we know. And I've been saying, like, which is the true personality, who is who. And it's just like, it's this chapter. So this chapter, basically, we get an understanding of who this Utsuro is. So Utsuro is basically this person who cannot die, who no matter what you do will always live. He is an immortal being. Simple enough, right? So they do not know when he was born, where he was born. They have no documents, no explanation on who this person was. But when he was there, he was always persecuted as an oni or a demon. Okay, because no matter how many times you kill him, you burn him, you chop up his limbs, you take out his organs, whatever you did, he always came back. And then because he has suffered so much, he has been through so much debts, and he had to kill so much, that in order to pacify this part of him that's called Utsuro, this whole being that's called Utsuro, he created these many personalities. And people have heard things about him saying that he's never died, and because of his strength, and because of that, they used him, the government or whatever higher power there was within the land end up using him, and then therefore created the Naruku. They end up using the Naruku to help them use their power, so that he can slaughter whoever they need, any person that's opposing, any power that was opposing them at the time. They just ask or use the Naruku to simply do so. And remembering that Utsuro has been killed, and therefore has gave birth to Yoshida Shoyo. Yoshida Shoyo was the personality, or that separate being within Utsuro, that tried to define or trying to separate himself from the other Utsuros, while the other Utsuros only succumb themselves to wanting to kill and massacre, and like they're trying to become human or something of that sort. He tried to stray from that path, that he want to find a goal, that even if he could not die, if there was no way to kill this person, that he find a way to become human, because he no longer wanted to be identified as just a killer or an assassin or a demon. He wanted to find some type of inner peace. And as it had stated back in the, what do you call it, Farewell Shinsengumi arc, that what's her name, Nobume, she told Gintoki that he was not the one that killed Yoshida Shoyo. It was actually Utsuro. By the end of the chapter, you see it was somewhat like he wanted Yoshida Sensei or Shoyo Sensei to die. So in order for him to no longer exist, he painted himself as Gintoki to be the one to end Yoshida Shoyo, because he said this cycle that you're trying to do of trying to erase the others will never come to pass. It will never be. It's not possible. So long as you exist within this body that can never die, it is not possible. So therefore you must go. And then this Utsuro that we all know, this killing machine that fears, that loathes and loves trying to be a human, has surfaced. And because of all the killings and all of these things that has happened, it basically wiped out any of the other personalities, and therefore he is a soulless body. He's just a soulless body. He's just walking, and I don't know if he even has a goal anymore. He doesn't have anything searching, worth soul searching for. He's just there and just slaughtering as he pleases. Is that anybody that comes in his way, he's just going to end their life as sees fit. Because when you look at if you look at his face and compared to Yoshida's face, you see that Yoshida is full of life. He looks like he wants to look for something. He's so ambitious and everything of that sort. And while Utsuro, he's nothing. He's empty. and he ends something that was trying to give birth to something, and that was such a sad chapter. And it's like you see Gintoki having this look of like it was like he couldn't he you can't even tell, like Gintoki just looked like he wasn't even shocked, or like compared to Takasugi and Katsura, who heard the story where they were shocked. Gintoki just had this seldom looking face. Like, I know he's trying to comprehend and he's not trying to show in his face, but I think the person that's taking it the hardest is Gintoki himself. And it's like, it's really hard because to him, Shoyo Sensei is like a father figure, and to hear all of this whole story of who he is and everything is, I think the person who's taking the real hardest is Gintoki, and I'm taking it really hard too, because now I don't even know, like, the Gintoki has to be the one to end this being, like, it's hard to comprehend right now, and it's like it's still wheeling in my head right now, like how much of a big shock this character is, and how much involvement he had way before Gintoki, Katsura's, Takasugi's time, and just how much of a big role he is playing throughout the entire story. So it's still I'm still trying to comprehend the whole thing, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you saw this chapter of Gintama, chapter 593, do tell me what your thoughts were after reading this chapter. How do you feel about the revelation of Utsuro overall? Do tell me in the comment section below. The links are in the description box so you guys can check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!